In this episode, I'm once again joined by Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche, Dzogchen master, teacher of Tibetan Buddhism, and author of over 15 books. Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche recounts his grueling journey fleeing Tibet across the Himalayas, his years in refugee camps and monasteries in Nepal and India, and his eventual arrival in the United States. Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche discusses his love of poetry, the cultural divide between Tibet and America, and why he still experiences nightmares about his time as a refugee. Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche also reflects on his recognition as a tulku, explains tantric dream yoga techniques, how to find a guru, when to reveal secret teachings, and shares his opinion on Westerners who use the religious title Lama. So without further ado, Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche. Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche, welcome back to the podcast.
Tashidele, Steve, Tashidele.
Well, I'm so delighted to be speaking with you again. And in our last episode, we left at something of a cliffhanger. You had just arrived in Nepal. We said then that we were going to, in this episode, cover your time in Nepal, India, and then eventually going to the States, where you are now in Seattle. So perhaps you could pick up the thread of the story when you arrived in Nepal.
Yes, it's a long story. We should start from the Himalayas. How high the Himalayas? Yeah, how dangerous if someone just without any those emergency, some those things, without oxygen, without medicine, without good shoes, without like warm clothes, very dangerous. But our small group, we did it. So around like 17 days, something like that. So we crossed the Himalayas, walk. So Tibet side, mostly we walk daytime. Nepal side, mostly we walk nighttime. Nobody injured. So finally we arrived in Nepal, Kathmandu. There's some difficulty, some dangers, especially the Tibet side. Almost we passed the border, but the cross the mountain, in the Tibet side, it's around the afternoon. We suddenly heard the machine guns fire. Like da 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 da. We cannot see where it come from, but it's from the how to say, the border, the army. So it's very, very dangerous. We're so afraid. Oh my God, where they can see us, but we cannot see where they are. So we hide behind the small the rocks. And then I think a little bit too far where they shoot, so nobody hurt, nobody injured, nobody killed. So we continually walk. When we arrived in Nepal, everybody is so exhausted, so tired. Also hungry and thirsty too. So we stay a couple of days at a small village. It's kind of like somewhere Solukhumbu, where there's a lot of Sherpas. We took rest, and then we continually walk to where's the public bus, a small village. We arrived there, and then we took a bus to Kathmandu. So morning around like 10 to evening also around like 10. Also, we're still afraid because if the Nepali, police and if someone report, they come and they catch us, and many times they return Tibetans to Chinese, where the Chinese, the border soldier or army. So it's still very dangerous until we arrive the Kathmandu, the UN, the refugee camp. Until that place, still we in danger. It's very easy to recognize us because our clothes or our smell, our face. But luckily, nobody lost. So we saved the UN, the refugee camp, Tibetan called Nailing camp. Nailing means like a welcome or whatever. So that time, that place was so poor. So there are a couple buildings, and the roof was the metal panels. So between the roof and the wall, there's like a big open space. The mosquitoes, like thousands of mosquitoes coming because our body has bad smell, and and also the toilet was so but we were so happy because now we are safe. So a couple of days took rest, and then they sent us to India, another public bus, Nepal to India. Also, nobody has papers, nobody. And when we arrived the border, Nepal, India, each person pay around like 100 the Nepali rupees something. Okay, that's all, no problem. Because the Indian, they already knew we are refugees. So they check the luggage, then they just let us go to Delhi. So when we arrived Delhi, there's another the refuge place camp, a refugee camp. We're so happy because now we're close to the destination, but still that time the New Delhi, the water there, so bad, smell, I don't know, so bad, very bad. And then we stayed there a couple of days. Some people, went to school. Some people went to Tibetan refugee camp. Some people want to stay there. Some they want to go different monasteries. That time I didn't know the big Nyingma monasteries. Where's the Sakya? Where's the Kagyu? Where's the Gelug? Only a few Gelugpa monasteries from the Tibet we heard again, like a Garden, Sera, Drepung. Look, so we say, okay, we go to Drepung. But New Delhi to Drepung is around like 4 days if you take a train. So we wait, someone goes, like with us, someone knows some Hindi or English, some don't, but finally they say, okay, nobody found. So 3 of us, you should go, take a train and go to southern India, 4 days. So me and one of my friends speak only like yes, no, this kind of English. Me, you something, okay, that's all. But Hindi, 0. So they took us to the train station and left us there. Then they returned. They went back. So we took train and wow. First they told there's one the Indian coolie. When the train came, please help them. And I think they give some money. So we follow him. We look him, but after like a while, there's a lot of coolies, same dress, same beard, the dark face. Who's it? So we lost that guy. He already left. Whatever. So we catch the train and just pray. Also, the Tibetan, the refugee camp, they told us somewhere this place called Mirage. Mirage, when you run Mirage, they change the train. So they told us, so you have to know when you ride the Mirage. I think a Mirage something. So look. And in the train, we didn't know how to order the food. Indians, they order food and they brought food, but we didn't know how to order the food. Only there when the chai come, chai. Okay, we can do chai. So 4 days, we couldn't order the food. So each time when the train stopped somewhere, the local people, local villagers, they came and outside the window, they sell like a banana and some fruit. So we bought the bananas for breakfast, banana for lunch, banana for dinner, banana for dessert. You can see banana and tea for 4 days. So finally, our body smell like a banana, you know. Yep. So we rocked the southern India, you know, safely. And so we went to the Drepung. And Drepung, there's some there's like thousands monks from Gelugpa school, from Nyingma school, from Bombu school, I remember, you know. So from different schools too, they studied the philosophy, Buddhist philosophy. It's totally new life. Everybody was poor, or each monk kind of poor, and the food it's okay, but not really enough. Every day you're hungry. And the super hot. Look, from directly Tibet to southern India, it's totally, yeah. So that's why many monks die. Many monks die. Once there's, you know, terrible disease came. Today you're totally healthy, tomorrow you just gone because you couldn't like breathe. Look like COVID, something. Really, very, very dangerous. So a lot of monks die. We can see where they burn the body. There's no really like this kind of ceremony, what do you call it, funeral house, something, you know, here. No, just between the one big Indian, the field, just there's a small space, please. So the monks brought this dead body there and they just burned there. So we can see who's burned there. That's Indian culture, yeah. Yep, and but study very, very hard. Every day you must study around like 8 to 9 hours. Work so hard. They work very, very hard. Unbelievable. Work so hard. And after 1 year, the monastery, they sent me back to Nepal because there's one kind of like the Buddhist publisher there, publication there. So I went there, I stayed there. And then weather, Kathmandu, I love it. So before I went, returned to Nepal, I went to Dharamsala once because the Tibetan kind of like international Tibetan study conference, something, the big like a gathering, a meeting. So they invited me there. I went there. I spent around 6 years in Nepal, and then a bit of an India. Nepal comes and goes. Then finally, I came to first New York. I lived there 6 months. Then I returned because it's too much. New York City is too crazy, too crazy. So I didn't like it. Then I returned to Nepal, and then by the Seattle, then I came back to Seattle. There's a beautiful temple, and they invited me to come to Seattle. So that's I came to Seattle. Since then, I'm very, very happy. So those stories from first my English book, this one, and then later in Tibetan, 2 volumes, 900 pages. The title, the English, I think it's what it called. I think kind of like 1,000 days diary or something. Yeah. So there's 2 volumes, my life story, and then the English. This one you have, thanks. Yep. The Liberation Odyssey, yeah. The Modern Liberation Odyssey. An autobiography of a Tibetan Buddhist nomad Lama. Yeah. So that's my a brief life story. Since I came to Seattle, I think around 2007, I went to the school, English school. So before 2007, almost zero. I can say yes, no, like a go, come, me, something. That's all. So I started to learn English 2007. 2007, 2008, like 1.5 year, the North Sierra Community College. Also, like the time, only the evening, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, that's all. And then I quit because I was busy. And then I learned by myself, and some of the Sangha helped me. And then slowly, I can speak some the basic, yeah. But I started learning English very late, so still writing and reading, like give this deep like a philosophy and this kind of Dzogchen and Mahamudra, the teachings. It's very, very difficult for me, but I can communicate a little bit.
Yeah, that's incredible. I have some questions about that time in your life. Can you say something about your deep study of poetry, both in a religious and a secular context? That's something that you went quite deeply into in India, from what I understand.
I started to write poetry when I was 16, 17, because Lama Tamji Gyamtsu, my first master who picked me up from the kind of samsara, and already I think the last time I mentioned he was great, poet. His Dharma poems amazingly beautiful, like Malaya's Dharma sounds, Dharma poetries. So I made a copy from him. And also my father is amazingly good reader, so he bought a lot of different books. Almost all Tibetan the master's storybooks. At least couple pages, it's like poetry. From the refugee prayer, the bodhicitta prayer, the dedication prayers, mostly is beautiful poetry. And then I learned the Tibetan, the poetry at the monastery in Tibet. I met amazingly good master. He was like, now when I look back, amazing, like he's like Bandita, great like philosopher, medical doctor, astrologer, like tantric master, and poet. And the feng shui master, unbelievable. So I met him and he taught me this, all of them. And then, poetry is one of my very, very favorite subjects. And I wrote a lot. And even when I was in Tibet, many the magazines, newspapers, they publish my short stories and poetries. And then when I was in the southern India, there's like a loneliness. Even I live with 1,000 monks, but inside there, there's lonely many times. Homesick, miss parents, brothers, the masters, homeland. So sometimes every day I write, poems. Every day, both the traditional style one and then the modern one. So both. And then when I returned Nepal, already there's enough for a published book. So I published 2 my poetry books. And continually, then I send my, short stories, the poetries, the magazines, the newspapers, they publish. Because really religious side, if you feel lonely, you have gurus, yidams, dakinis, deities. And samsaric side, when you feel lonely, sad, or even happy, you need something or like someone experience this feelings. So, writing and reading and the poetries, it's helped me. Every day when I drink like black tea or coffee, I need some milk. So the poetry is like milk. And then, when I study more like the Nyingma tradition and the master's teachings and Mahamudras, there are so many beautiful, the poetry the beautiful Dharma words. It's poetry. It's poetry. it's a very, very deep poetry, very, very deep poetry, and vast. So slowly, my writing style a little bit like change. Mostly about the mind, the nature, and death, birth, like enlightenment, samsara. So realizations, like a Doha, Indian Doha, Tibetan Dharma songs. They help me a lot. Also, they protect, they help my the mind level, my meditation, my Dharma practice. Also, my personality, my humanity. Amazing. So, but it's because maybe different culture, different tradition. When I read English poetries, it's Western. It's very difficult to understand. Even I understand that the feeling is different. No matter I read in English or no matter I read in Tibetan language, someone already translated, but still the feeling is different. It's different. It's a little bit different. I cannot really experience, I cannot really experience the real taste.
Do you think that, why do you think that is? Could it perhaps be the cultural references, for example, the lexicon of symbols and metaphors, something about the meter perhaps? Why do you think it is that English language poetry, or poetry that was at least composed in English, even if it's then translated into Tibetan, doesn't have quite the same feeling for you?
Yeah, because already I told you, because different culture, different lifestyle, different thoughts, different experience, and also a different the language, different language. Who create the language? Who create this poetry? So that's, I think, it's something like it's also for my sangha, Western sangha, Eastern sangha. No matter this person has a very deep and a strong and stable devotion, but still is different. No matter this person or sangha very close to you, but still they're different. Because it's, I can say the background. No matter how much you change, but still you have something there. You have something there. Maybe we talk later about the relationship between the master sangha. We maybe that we will talk, but still the writings. But when I read the stories, Western stories, then I can kind of enter there. I can go their world. Now I'm reading, the very famous American, I don't know, it's novel or not. What I call the anger or the grapes of wrath. Yeah, the grape of wrath. So when I read it, almost I'm reading a Tibetan story, because when these families moving from Oklahoma to California, like me, my family, one nomad, they're nomad. So we seasonally we move, somewhere here, there, here. Look, we're looking for where's a good grass for the animals. Those people from that story, they're also looking for a job. Look, they move from east to west, and there's a father, there's a mother, this man and brothers, sisters, looking like my family. When we move, every morning, my father a little bit nervous. He yells sometimes. So My mother's more passions. Yes, it's like look like my family. So look, I can go inside these stories, but poetry is very difficult. Sometimes poetry a little bit kind of like higher level, like a high realizations. Okay, it's not ordinary people can experience. Maybe that's also the reason. Sometimes that's the reason. Okay. Otherwise, I don't know. One thing I think my English was still poor. This is one reason too. Yes.
Well, I think your English is excellent, actually, but we've had this argument before, so I won't press the point. Can you think of a poem, a piece of poetry, it could be religious or not, that has been particularly meaningful to you? It could be something you've written that would be the best, or perhaps a poem from somebody else that is meaningful to you, that you refer to often. Can you think of such a poem now?
Yeah, I suddenly remember the one from the Buddha. Tibetan say, karma ravrum marmita, yuma silwa churita, mil malotang chunta, digitam jitehta. So that means is like, the Buddha said, all phenomena impermanent as the 8 symbols or 8 examples of the, the magic. The Tibetans say, Yumi Pijal, 8 examples of the, magic or delusion, he said, like stars, mirage, clouds, linen, bubbles, dream. You must look your life like those, impermanent as as them. This is so beautiful and so powerful. Now, this is amazing kind of philosophy. Okay, very, very powerful philosophy. If all these people, no matter you're practitioner or not, when you're so happy, you must remember this. When you're so sad or lonely, still you have to, still you have to think or remember this beautiful poetry. Then you can enjoy both happiness and sadness. So yeah, this is a very, very beautiful and meaningful.
Thank you. When I hear your story of your journey to Nepal and the difficulties you faced in your life in general, I wonder, do those difficulties leave a mark? I'm thinking, for example, of soldiers in war or people who have experienced difficulty in their life, sometimes can leave a mark. Even though the situation is no longer the same, the difficulty has passed, still the mark can remain. I'm wondering, given that you have also experienced difficulties, did you also experience this mark? And if so, how do you heal that kind of a mark?
My mark is not really like anger, like anger or this kind negative emotion, negative thoughts. Okay, my mark is not like that, but from fear, cross the border. Yeah. So even after almost 20 or almost 20, 30 years, but still I have many it's not like a nightmare, but this bad dream or this dream comes again. Many times I pass the border. So the border, okay. sometimes not. Many times, sometimes it may look like the Chinese army or Nepali police, border, sometimes I have US passport, then I feel good. In my mind, oh, I have US passport, I'm safe. Sometimes there's no passport, like I have to escape, how to do it. So again, last 27, 60 years, again, this dream is never go away. I don't know how to go away, okay? So it's come again. Also the dream, if I have dream in Tibet, 90% that monastery where I spent 10 years, the karmic imprint is so, deep, so deep. And the masters in Tibet come to my dream more than masters outside Tibet. So there's a very, very deep memory there, very, very deep memory. Yeah. So, but this kind of like doesn't disturb my compassion and my practice. But later I ask some different people, Tibetans from Tibet, they have same this kind of dream again. Maybe someday I'm unhappy. Me, when I woke up, I'm happy, no matter in dream I passed border or not. But when I woke up, it's a dream. It's a dream. It's kind of like a teaching, the Dharma teaching. So no matter we are happy or not, after we die, of course there's karmic imprints there, but what happened is like a dream. Yeah. So that's why I think Buddha said, from the 8 for examples of the magic or the impermanent, one is dream. He says dream like a dream. Also the Buddha, before just he passed into the nirvana, he told Asanga, everything is like when you do something like this, and then if you open this, you can see some kind of like a stars. So that's something. So everything's like that. It's helped me. My mind is calm and relaxed. No matter what happened, good or bad. So usual, unusual, just mind can calm and relax. Really.
Thank you. I know that you have a very profound dream yoga practice also. I'm curious about that. In Namtar, various different Namtar hagiographies of spiritual masters, often one reads of dream yoga, using dream yoga to visit places or to connect with teachers who perhaps are deceased or simply in a different location, meeting in the dream, etc., etc. I'm wondering about that. Is this something that you've made use of in your dream yoga? And if so, in what ways?
Dream yoga is not really easy to practice because we have very, very strong grasping. This is a day, this is a night. Yeah, this is real, this is not real, like that. Yeah, look. So we totally mix 2 different worlds. The daytime world, nighttime world, or dream world. We kind of believe daytime world, but we don't believe night, the dream world. This is a big mistake, big mistake. So this is a dream too. That daytime is a dream too. Daydream is a night dream. There's 2 dreams, but in our mind, this is real. So that's why we say seva, you cannot transfer for each other, okay? Day to night, night to day. We cannot. until we can transfer these two terms into each other, you cannot really catch with a catch dream. Okay, you cannot catch. You cannot enter the world, or you cannot recognize. You cannot recognize this as a dream. But still, even you cannot catch or you cannot recognize this as a dream. But what happened in your dream is also a reflection of your mind. A reflection of your mind. Like in your dream, you met a Buddha. You saw a Buddha. That meant you saw the Buddha. Because it's who experienced the mind experience. Even in daytime you met a Buddha, now experienced by the mind too. Basically, it's the same. It's the same. So, yeah, the daytime, if you can recognize, if you think, if you meditate on those phenomena as a dream, as a illusion, and then slowly, when you kind of like pass this test, daytime, and then you can, even you sleep, you can recognize. Especially like a lot of people have habit take a nap. The middle of the day they take a nap. When you take a nap, or before you take a nap, if you think everything is a dream, and then when you take a nap, in your nap, if you have dream, if you can recognize, because take a nap, it means maybe 1 hour, maybe half hour, very short time. If you can recognize this is a dream in your nap, and then now this is good sign. When you go to bed, real like a nighttime, you can try, and then slowly it happen. The thing is, a lot of people when they go to sleep, they want a very very deep sleep. For the dream practitioner, you cannot do this. You must think you have like a light, very sensitive dream, okay? Very light dream, a light sleep. You're sleeping, but still, in the corner of your mind, there are like kind of like, subconscious or something awake. Look, something awake. Like you reading, but still you listen, music. Yeah, exactly the same. Then you can catch the dream. You can recognize this is a dream. Otherwise, if you like totally asleep, your whole consciousness enter the sleep, it's very difficult to recognize this dream. That's why I say take a nap. Look, it's before you go to sleep, this is a nap. This is like a whole night time. Yeah, look, very short time.
At what point in your life did you learn dream yoga, the Milam Naldra? What time in your life? Was it in Tibet or India?
Outside Tibet. In Tibet, I didn't hear much. I didn't hear much. Mostly I learned, some like Yamandaka, Chorasambara, like Kala Chakra, and but I didn't receive much like tantric teachings. I received thousands empowerments, but mostly like sutra teachings, philosophy. But outside Tibet, then I met different masters from different school, and then I learned, okay, the dream yoga, even dream yoga, there are a lot of different dream yogas. Like dream yoga with like Amitabha, and dream yoga from 6 Narupas yogas, dream yoga from Yamandaka and the Charasambara. You can say here Vajra, almost in the Vajra yoga, almost each single the high yoga tantra, high yoga tantric, the yidams, the deities have their own dream practice, dream yoga. Yeah. So yep. So that's I start my dream yoga, dream practice, sleep and yoga, or outside Tibet. Yeah.
Well, I have one more biographical question for you, and then we had some questions that we had agreed to discuss, actually. So, and then I will ask those, the ones that you sent to me. So, on August 10th, 2000, Trulshik Rinpoche recognized you as a Tulku. I'm wondering if you can tell the story of this and what is its significance, its meaning. Yes, so August 10th, 2000.
Yeah, already I mentioned last time when I was Tibet, little boy, 2 or 3 different masters recognize me, but it's a different situation. So it's also sometimes very dangerous for the master. So just almost everybody kind of quiet. I thought it's kind of like freedom. So the masters can recognize. And especially like a Trulshik Rinpoche, if we read the Trulshik Rinpoche's stories and his first master, Dzogchen Rinpoche, amazing, realized master from the next the mountain Everest. There's a Drepung Monastery. Each time when you look at the mountain Everest, there's a monastery just down there. So Trulshik Rinpoche is in Tibet. He's one master from the Drepung, the founder or the leader, the monastery, Dzogchen Rinpoche. And then his second master, I think the late the second Drepung Rinpoche, Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche. And the third master was the Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche. So Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche told his disciples, Trulshik Rinpoche is the vajrayana, the famous translator, like in person, in the human now. Also, from the Trulshik Rinpoche is like a life, past lives, the prayer of his past lives. Many the realized masters, the Pandita, the scholar masters. So like all together, then there's no question Trulshik Rinpoche's wisdom and his compassion, his realizations. So when Trulshik Rinpoche say, I'm something, I was someone, yep. I should like trust, I should believe. Yeah, that's, their masters, from their masters' wisdom, their realizations. It's not only me, Trulshik Rinpoche recognize many tulkus, some very high, some is like kind of like a medium, some is lower, some, I don't know, the realizations we cannot really say. Yeah, so sometimes the background, like politically, some just become very high Lama, you understand? Some from the family lineage, they become just, since they born, they become high master, look. So no matter you study a lot or you meditate a lot, still because you was born in this family, because your past lives has a politic power, so that's make you high Lama, you understand? Even someone has a very high realization, if you are like hidden, yogi or yogini, then you are not like like His Holiness, okay? You are just like an ordinary Lama, look like, because you didn't born in this kind of special family. You're not born. Your past lives didn't have this, political powers. Yeah, like kings, ministers, bring a lot of, army to your country, kill a lot of, people, and then they throw you in the order. You understand? So that's Tibetan High Lama. Is there this kind of different backgrounds, So whatever backgrounds. So I'm, kind of like I'm happy when the Trulshik Rinpoche recognize me. Because if by this name, this title, if I can benefit some, the people, sentient beings, yeah, that's perfect. But by this title and recognition, if I heard the other people, other sentient beings, and if I heard myself, that's so bad. That's so bad. That's why in Tibetan we say may the bad people live short life. May the good people live a long life. Yep. So that's also, almost every day I, told myself. Also, I told my, gurus, the deities, if I do good things, if I can serve the Buddha Dharma, if I can serve sentient beings, please bless me, like healthy life, happy life. If I hurt the other sentient beings, if I destroy the Buddha's doctrine, please make my life is short. So this titles also like this. If you, no matter you have Tulku title or Kempo title or Lopan title, if he use this title for good things, then your past life doesn't matter. Okay, maybe Mahasiddha or Pandita or Geshe or Kempo. So this life is become meaningful. But even your past life has this lot of this high title, whatever. In this life, you destroy Buddhism. If you hurt a lot of people, look, now kind of like you should return the title. You should return the title. Even you cannot, because if you are like unmistaken Tulku, like from your past life, like original, but still you better don't use this title. Just hide, just be quiet. That's the best. So that's why when the Trulshik Rinpoche, not only Trulshik Rinpoche, later, different Tertums in Tibet and different gurus also recognize me, but it's also like they give me a lot of luggage, heavy luggages here, there, here. So you can see sometimes, in India and in Africa, some ladies, like when they holding a lot of the pants or like heavy jars, they must walk carefully. Yeah, same thing. This title is heavy, so I should walk, well. Sometimes when I saw the models, the models when they wear different funny clothes, heavy, or sometimes they like falling down, because their clothes are so funny and sometimes heavy. Same thing. The Tulkus, Kempos, Geshis, who has a title a little bit different from general people. Under this title, practice hard, okay? Really, meditate more and give teaching more. Then even your Tulku or Kempo, whatever, your title become meaningful, your life become meaningful. That's, I promise my guru, Trulshik Rinpoche, Trulshik Dorje Changchenpo, so I don't know, without this Tulku title, without this, where I am, and who I am. Still me, the title is a title, still like before this title, still the mind, the deeply, it's the same. Really, it's the same. Deeply the same, like, like a PhD, lawyer or doctor. After they become PhD or doctor, you can say lawyer, but deeply inside their mind, the same. I'm sure it's the same. Same thing. So this kind of titles is the same. But with this title, I can help some sentient beings. So that's I'm very, very happy, very, very happy. I don't know next life I have this title or not. This life with this title, traditionally in Tibet, especially in Tibet, you can help sentient beings a little bit more. Also, you can destroy others happy more, because this title. That's why I say, be careful with this kind of title. Same thing in the West now, Lama, the Lama, You can see some Western teachers has Lama title. Yeah, you can see. So must be careful. If you have, Vajrayana teachings, you must do the correct, the right one. Very, very, because this is a secret Vajrayana teaching. Look, secret. What I mean is secret. What I mean is a Vajrayana. Look, Vajra is unshakable, undestructible. If you try to destroy this beautiful tradition, these secret teachings, if you try to give publicly, look, then that's I'm talking about. You under this Lama title, under this Rinpoche or Tulku title, you destroy the Buddhism. This beautiful. That's why we must be careful. We must be careful.
What do you think of this increase of Westerners using the title Lama, etc.? What do you think of that?
I'm happy. Number one, I'm happy because that means they have been, practice a lot. They study lots. They met perfect, the gurus. I'm very, very happy. If you go to Middle East, give someone the Lama title or say, I give the empowerments. Maybe they kill you. Someone they kill you because totally different, kind of wrong place. Yeah, it's a wrong place because they have their own beautiful religion, so they don't want to accept you, this kind of funny things. Yeah. So if you want to practice this beautiful Dharma and many years of practice, study, meditate many years, and then you have this title Lama. This is beautiful. This is very beautiful. That means you have, now you're holding this jar full of water. But that means you must walk carefully before you give this water to someone, or before you use the water for your tea or coffee or your noodles. You must walk carefully because this is, easy to broken the jar. German is most jars not metal. Yeah, it's made by clay and this kind of salt. Same thing, these lamas, Western lamas, have big responsibility because you speak perfect, speak your own language, maybe English, maybe Spanish, maybe French. Yeah. And more, you can bring more people than the Tibetan lamas masters because you know this culture. You speak perfect language. Look, maybe they trust you more than Tibetan gurus. That is more be careful when you give the teaching, give perfect way, the traditional way, because religion is not art. Of course, religion has a lot of art things, okay? Especially Vajrayana, a lot of, the colors, the different mantra sounds. Amazingly, there's a lot of art, but the Vajrayana Buddhism itself is not art. It's a religion. It's a very, very special, unusual religion. Really, this is uncommon religion. So, but still, you have the thoughts of the art mix. In the West, a lot of people want to mix. You understand? Hinduism, Buddhism, like a Sufi, they want to mix. They want because they eat a lot of pizza. Okay, pizza, everything mixed there. You can see. So they think, it's like a spaghetti. I can mix, no problem. Vajrayana, Sufi, Hindu. No, religion is not an art. Religion is not a food. It look like art, look like a food, but it's not a food. It's not art. It's a religion. So that's us, like kind of requesting the Tibetan teachers, Western teachers in the West, also in the East too. Number one is keep the tradition. Of course, some branches you can change, no problem at all, no problem at all. No problem. But the root, the mean, the essence one, no, you cannot change. It's who can change? The next Buddhas. Next Buddhas and the future Buddhas, they will give teaching in a different way. You know, like Dzogchen is the Nyingmapa, uncommon is the Nyingmapa special. If a Dzogchen system, Dzogchen tradition should change, all the Nyingmapa masters must gather, discuss, and then they can say, okay, we can change this, we cannot change that. You understand? Yeah? Mahamudra is a Kagilpa special. If Mahamudra tradition style needs some change, the old Kagilpa masters gather and they must talk. Same thing the Sakyapa Lamdi, Gelugpa Lamrim, Jonangpa, the Jotu, Kala Chakra, Shijipa, the Chul, the Bobus, same thing. Only few masters, oh, I have high position, I'm high Lama, I can do this, do that. No. This is a very, very, important to know. Time is a change. Yes. Some people, time change, we should change. That's not right. Time change, but our ignorance, our attachment inside is never, it's still the same thing. Yeah. No matter you came from Tibet to America, or you Vietnam to America, America to India, still you bring your, ignorance, attachment, jealous. Look, all those you bring here to there. So you're still the same. Yeah, time is a change. Close, how to say, country is a change, location change, but inside is still the same. That's why I say you should keep the tradition, no matter where you are. Branches, yes, you can change, no problem at all, no problem. That's totally okay. That's totally, like in the West, a lot of the yogis, yoginis, when they practice, they wear only the robe. There's no like a shamter, there's jeans, pants. That's a change in Tibet. Nobody wear like that. If you wear the yogi's robe, yes, the shamter, everything, the full, full uniform, not like half. Those look like change. That's okay. That's totally okay. That's okay. No problem. But like Dzogchen teachings, only the main Dzogchen teaching, textual toggles, only who finish 500,000 the wondus. Same thing. The Mahamudras, and the Narupa 60 yogas. Traditionally, only who finish the perfect everything, the wondu, and who already receive Charasambhara empowerments for the Narupa 60 yogas. This is the main. This is the tradition. Last 1,000 years, the master to master. Because then there's the result. Look, otherwise there's no result. You just jump here from how to call it, boarding school to PhD study. No, you cannot do like that. Already we knew it, yeah? The boardings, only 1, 2, 3. The kids, very special ones, yes, they can do it, yeah? But 99% the kids from the, kindergarten or the boarding school, they cannot study, learn, or pass the test, the PhD. No way. Already we knew it. Vajrayana Buddhism, totally the same. Totally the same. That's why Western lamas, no matter you're Tibetan or American or Chinese or Vietnamese, they keep this beautiful tradition. Is so important.
Thank you very much. Perhaps we'll pivot now to some of the questions that you suggested we discuss. The first of those is, why is Tantric Buddhism so very popular in countries like America and places like Europe?
Number one, already I told you, there are a lot of art terms, art, color, shapes, sounds, the materials, number one, because the mandalas, so beautiful, yeah? Look at the Kala Chakra mandala, so beautiful. Now, Vajrayana Buddhism is kind of popular in Vietnam after China. So many the Vietnamese Sangha is they're so happy to hang in the Kalachakra mandala everywhere. Their living room and their shrine room and everywhere. There's like some is a huge Kalachakra mandala Tanka Kalachakra Tanka, because Kalachakra the mandala has we say Che Nang Jansam. So outer Kala Chakra, inner Kala Chakra, the other Kala Chakra. Also the body, speech, mind, the mandala. So that's why it's so beautiful. Also around the mandala, there are lots images. So like devas, nagas, yakshas, and the mantras, horses, trees, flowers, vases. So beautiful. So because we ordinary people first look outside, the colors. So Vajrayana Buddhism, why it's become popular? Number one is color, 5 colors, these mandalas. And then secondly, the materials, the instrument, okay, vajra and bell, like a purba, so this kind of unusual things. So Western people and then like Mahayana, the countries, they never saw this kind of things. So it's unusual, looks so powerful and something, there's mysteries. And then so many deities. The Mahayana, the 3 Buddha, Buddhas from 3 times, past, present, future, and then maybe some medicine Buddha and some Guanyin, some the Dharma protectors, that's all. There's no huge, this kind of mandala, and then there's so many, the tantric, the female deities, there's no, only, Guanyin and only few, okay, that's all. But you can see the Vajrayana Buddhism, like Vajra Yogini, Vajra Varahi, like Magic Labdun, unbelievable, those combination of peace and the wrathful, you can see, and then like green Tara, white Tara, Guru Gule, oh my, like Zambalas, then this kind of union deities, oh my, that's like people think like, look like a 3 dimension. After you watch the regular movie many years, then now you watch the 3-dimension movie. You can see like, oh my, like, look. And then the different mantras of health, wealth, and so many different mantras. And then the melodies. And then like a dream yoga, and they never had dream yoga like the Mahayana practitioner, the Theravada practitioners. You can see. And then this kind of like Dzogchen and Mahamudra, 6 narubas, 6 yogas. That's why people think. Look like you eat pizza every day, or you eat pizza like me, the banana, breakfast, banana for lunch and dinner. Finally, you found a buffet. There's 1,000 different the food there. I think that's the reason. The number one reason is outer. And the number 2 is inside, the different practices. The the Theravada and the Mahayanas, Buddha's there, we are here. There's kind of like a destination between the, your refugee and yourself. There's this destination, big space. Vajrayana, no. You can visualize Buddha's here, and then you can visualize yourself as a Buddha. Look, the mantra is not like someone's bank account. It's not like that. It's like you can have all mantras as your own bank account, your social secret number. You can see, because you can visualize yourself as a Buddha. You can visualize the mantra syllables within your body, and also you can visualize your mind and the deity, the Buddha's, Guru's mind become one mind, transfer each other. That means it's like this non-duality, inseparable, and we always inseparable. This makes you so close, like a regular love between male or female or male to male. Like this love is so strong. these two loves, these two bodies can transfer each other. That's why Vajrayana Buddhism become very popular, because we ordinary people, the feeling is so important. Yeah, the feeling, the daily feeling, so important. I don't know how much they can see the result, yeah, the realization and this things, accomplishment, but generally, I think mostly it's good news there in the West and in America, Canada, Europe, and Latin America, where's the Vajrayana Buddhism. 99% I can see, I can hear the good news everywhere. I'm so thankful for the Tibetan lamas and Western lamas, and they flourish. They hold this beautiful the doctrine, the Vajrayana Buddhism. I'm so thankful for them.
One of the key aspects of Vajrayana is the relationship between the master and the disciple. And that's also something that you suggested we discuss. And the way you phrased the question was, what is the most important thing to consider between master and disciple? And how key is that to tantric Buddhism?
This is not only tantric, from the Theravada, Mahayana, and the Tantra. Like you cross the river. Maybe already there's a bridge. Okay, that means when you met this master already in the past lives, you have the karmic connection already. Or even there's no bridge, people can build the bridge. Then people can cross. Same thing. Even there's no karmic connection between you and master past lives, you both sides can make new connection. Especially the new connection. Even you have past life connection, but now it's present. Yeah, it's now so important. So when you build the bridge, both sides, be careful. Be careful. Very, very be careful. Make sure the other side is a real beautiful and healthy place. Sometimes there's like a mirage, look like water there, okay, look like a city there, look like people there, but it's not really real, not true. Okay, that's why from the Buddha's teachings, many times he said the delusion. When they deluded us, it's like thirsty animals looking for water on the desert. So when we saw the mirage, they thought it's water. So they walk. They try to find the water, but no matter like hundreds of miles, still you can see the mirage, but you cannot find the water. Same thing when you make a bridge from master to sangha to master. Make sure the water is that is not a mirage, it's a real water. Okay, it's like an illusion. It's a real like island or real, the land is there. So number one, already the Buddha said, first, little bit, check the background. If now there's a Facebook, Instagram, and like a WeChat, a lot, yeah, websites. First, research their background. I also don't trust the story from the website. Don't trust like that. Okay, maybe 70% is true, maybe 80% is true, maybe 20, 15%. Their sangha like mecca. Okay. Sometimes 100% true, sometimes 80%, sometimes 70% is true. Yeah. So, but still there's some true things there from their website, Facebook, and then think about, okay, if I make a bridge between this master, what is my benefit? And they'll ask yourself, why I need this master? Why I want to become his or her sangha? And then there's the teachings. Okay, why I want to receive this teaching? Sometimes you want to receive like every teaching from this master. Sometimes you think, oh, okay, I need this, I don't need that. Look, yeah. So if I need this teaching, why? If I no need to receive this teaching, then still why? Why? Sometimes you think, oh, I don't need this teaching because I cannot practice this teaching now. Big mistake. You're going to lose big opportunity. Why not future? Why not next life? Even you cannot practice this life, how about the next life? The next life. After years, still years, there's the karmic, the karmic, the imprint is still there until you become Buddha. So sometimes this kind of laziness, oh, I'm lazy, I'm busy, I cannot practice, I cannot do something. Don't think like that. But the samaya is very important too. Keep the samaya. After you receive the teaching, especially vajrayana teaching, then you become this vajrayana disciple, and he or she become your vajrayana master. Then you must be careful. Now you cannot think this teacher is looking like your boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, bye-bye. Today I love you, tomorrow I hate you. Leave me alone, go away. No. Traditionally, you cannot do this. But still a lot of people think because this is, modern. This is, 2022, 2020. I can do what, no problem. I knew a lot of people think like that. Yeah, This year you invite this teacher to, your house, empowerment teachings. Next year, when the teacher come back, you never show up. Even the teacher call you, oh, I'm busy, sorry. Hang up, yeah, this happened many times nowadays. Then because they're looking for another teacher. That means they're looking for new boyfriend, same thing. Or they're looking for new socks, new jeans. You understand? New cars, something like that. This has happened and very, very often in the West. Yes. Yeah. So because they knew or they don't know how to keep the vajrayana samayas, vajrayana relationships between the teacher and the sangha. Also, both sides will have responsibility. Teacher side, the sangha side, both responsibility. Because both, start building this, bridge, both, finally like that. But also the good news is more than bad news until now. I can hear 99% is still good news. Yes, so that's why I'm very, very happy. Work hard, very, very, the both sides, sangha and the teachers in the West work very, very hard. So I'm so thankful for both sides.
And there are two more questions in the list that you sent to me. And the first of those is, the second last, the penultimate one is, what is different between the Eastern and Western Dharma Sangha?
Still the same, the background, number one, background where this life and the past life. Of course, past life background is important, but this life background is easy to remember, yeah? Easy to bring in your action, easy to use in your daily life. That's why in background from your early this life, environment, not only their background, environment, the culture, the daily culture is also different. Like in Tibet, like in Nepal, India, if you're Buddhist, you can wear your robes and you can hang in the, malas or different malas, and you can, bring your prayer wells everywhere, the public, the transportations, even the airplanes, everywhere. You can recite mantras loudly, whatever, it's okay. But in the West, it may be okay, but it's still a lot of the Western Sangha shy. Even they don't want to show the mala. some they told me, oh, I don't want to show I'm Buddhist. Then I asked them, what's wrong with the Buddhists? Why? Is Buddhism is like a violence? Is Buddhism like organized and like terrorists? Is Buddhists organized robbers? So no, we don't do it. Generally, we don't do it. Maybe some different country, there's some, politic problem between, the people and government. Some, like now you can see some different, a little bit, like Sri Lanka, they are big, financial disaster. Some, I saw the demonstrations, some monks, they also there too, because it's this kind of situation. But generally, the Buddhism itself and Buddhist, the Sangha, peaceful, very, very peaceful. Not only we peaceful, the humans, animals too. Look, we say all mother sentient beings, including all animals. So why are you shy? Why are you shy? You're Buddhist. Why? Many my Sangha or some, they say like that. They don't want to show. They want to know their friends. They practice Buddhism. I'm still confused. Why? What's wrong with the Buddhism? If Buddhism is like the religion of lies, religion of like violence, then you should shy, you should hide. What are you doing? But no. Just before our interview, I read a story. One of my friend, he translated from Chinese language, because this is a story from English to Chinese to Tibetan language. It's the story from Oklahoma in America. Once there's small town, and then a friend of this gentleman's window, there's like a square, and a lot of people throw the garbage there, garbage. So he reported the local government or whatever. They clean a couple of times, it's still there. And then he thought, okay, what I can do? If I put a Jesus statue there, maybe I got big trouble, because a lot of people practice, the Christians, why you put Jesus next to, garbage? Then he thought, why not a Buddha statue? If I put a Buddha there, most people are not Buddhist, yeah? So there's not really a big complaint. I should, because Buddha is like a peaceful, happy something. And then he put a Buddha statue there. The next day he checked, there's no garbage around this Buddha statue. Then he put the second Buddha statue there, and the third. Finally, all in the garbage, it's kind of like it's gone. Even people don't practice Buddhism, but when they say the Buddha, it's naturally like a peace, clean, take care of environment, something there. So that's why they really no need to shy. They don't need to shy. But still, I understand, uncomfortable, because Buddhism is kind of like a new religion in this country, in the Europe. So last like around 60, 70 years still. But until now, the the reputation, we have kind of like a good reputation, kind of good image, if we do continually,
Part, I think, of the shyness also is because certainly in Europe, places like Europe, culturally, and not everybody, but culturally, we could say it's post-religious in some ways. Now, of course, people make other religions that they don't call religions, maybe politics or maybe something else. They have the same devotion for something, but nonetheless, traditional religions, Christianity, for example, Buddhism, etc., to be associated with that a religion is seen to be a little suspicious or strange, I think, in a post-religious context. I think maybe less in America, but certainly in Europe, for example, there is that sense that the better way is a secular mindset. Okay, thank you very much. So the last of the questions you suggested was, and I think this is a good question to end, what should we do for Buddhism to continually be alive in the future?
Number one issue already we talked about, keep the essence, okay? Keep the beautiful tradition. Number two, the branches, so we should also kind of like a revolution. Yes, because different country, different culture, different environment, different people. If something we should change from the branches, like from the outer things, we should change it too. And then the master's life must simple. Sometimes traditionally, like when the masters give teachings, like a very fancy throne, like a golden throne, look like a king style things. We should change it from the Tibet. Already, I told the Tibetan masters in Tibet already. We should change. Make those king style thrones, tables, little bit simple. Same thing in the West too. When the teachers give teachings, this kind of king style things, little bit less, because that's sometimes important, because a lot of people look only outer. If the master has a high and golden, huge like king, then this master is something. If the master sit on like a simple chair and ordinary clothes, maybe he or she is nothing, because look where he's like this kind of the luxury life, the materials. So those we must change. We must change. And same thing, a lot of those materials like statues, like very huge or very expensive things, and then those things we should change. And the teachings, and many of those hidden teachings, if you hide too much it's easy to lost. If the master gone, then now the lineage is gone. So that's why those, even the Dzogchen, Mahamudra, Narupa, Six Yoga, this kind of very, very high teachings, still there's a middle path, not too high, not too public. Look, if someone has the how to say, good condition, like finish the at least 100,000 Vajrasattva mantras, like at least 100,000 like refugee bodhicitta. Then you can give some this high teachings. At least, I say at least. Number one is to finish 500,000 wonders, okay? And if many like different circumstances, different like situations, at least finish 100,000 refuge, 100,000 bodhicitta, 100,000 Vajrasattva mantra, long mantra. And look, that's, I'm talking about the middle path. But still, if yes or no, is who can make a decision, each schools, the masters gather, because only they have the power, permission. And then we can hold the Vajrayana Buddhism, continually. Because in the West, most people have this kind of education, the wisdom. This very good news. Many times I say, if Western wisdom and Eastern devotion combined, we can hold the Buddha Dharma, both, three of them, the Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, perfectly in the West. That's I'm thinking about always.
Well, fascinating. This has been remarkable conversation. Tulku Yeshi Rinpoche, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve. I'm so happy, and so thank you for this beautiful interview.
Thank you for listening to another Guru Viking podcast. For more interviews like these, as well as articles, videos, and guided meditations, visit www.guruviking.com.